My husband was diagnosed in 2016, and we had actually just moved from Florida to Kentucky. We moved for a job for me. And prior to us moving, my husband had started experiencing like hives like on his upper body. It's very random. He had bronchitis and pneumonia earlier that year. And so he thought maybe he just didn't completely get over it. So the doctor was like, you know what, let's go ahead and do a CT scan and see if, just see what's there. Or maybe it was an x-ray. Maybe it was an x-ray. But, so he did that, and later that week, the results came back that showed like an enlarged spleen and some enlarged lymph nodes. So they both were like, it's kind of strange that you have these enlarged lymph nodes and enlarged spleen in an otherwise healthy man. Asked them for a full CBC panel. So he went in, got that panel, got the CT, contrasting CT scan done. And before he had even left the clinic, he was going back to oh my goodness, not radiology. Maybe it was. Maybe he went back to radiology and asked the tech to pull up his CBC and at that point there was like a loudspeaker in the clinic, and it like said, Nathan, please come to the family practice center. So he asked the radiology guy to pull up his results for the CBC. And that's when he saw that his white blood cell count was like 89,000. I was at work that day. He actually had our two kids with him at the clinic because they were young. They were 5 and 10. He didn't want to leave them home alone. When he called me, he said, you need to come home. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, well, it's not good. It's probably cancer. It was the single biggest shock of my whole life. And still, it's been almost 7 years. Nothing has stunned me more than my otherwise very healthy 44-year-old husband being diagnosed with chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Immediately, my mind went to, I don't want him to die. I could not stop thinking about, I don't want him to die. Is he going to die? That was like, I just could not get my brain off of this loop of, will my husband die? It was just, yeah, focusing on him, but also trying not to, before we knew anything, I didn't want to scare the kids. It was, without a doubt, the hardest time of my life. He asked for a third opinion. Well, we think, with good results, we can have like 5 years of remission. And I was like, that's not long or deep. Like, what is that? So that was kind of the point where we were able to stop thinking, okay, we're gonna, he's gonna die. It helped me stop thinking the worst. I still don't think 5 years is a long remission. I think that's not when he's now 50, well, he'll be 52 this summer. 5 years is not long enough. What gives me hope is science, honestly. Treatments are progressing every single day. There are things that are available now that weren't available 7 years ago. And they have research and data available now that they didn't have as much 7 years ago. So the continued progression of scientific treatment and data to best help cancer patients is what gives me the most hope.